New creatives, better targeting, and even bigger ad budgets won't fix your return on ad spend, but this one AI system will. Because if you're running ads in your business, whether it's Facebook, Google, or some other platform, you're probably wasting up to 40% of your ad budget without even realizing it. And this one AI system will absolutely fix it for you, because we've installed this across over 60 different businesses now for the last 2 years. And I can tell you, for the clients of ours that are running ads consistently, the problem is rarely ever the ad campaigns themselves. The problem is actually everything that happens after the click and after the opt-in. And this simple AI system I'm going to walk you through is what's going to plug every single gap. So what I want to do first is just sort of give you a bit of context about what's actually going on with your ad campaigns. So typically, when you're running ads, you have a monthly budget. It could be 10K as per the image, it could be 50K, it could be 100K or more each and every month. Now, that ad spend will turn into leads generated for your business. And if you are getting leads at a reasonable cost per lead, that is proof that your ads and the opt-in is working. So where things typically break down for businesses is everything after the click or everything after the opt-in, because what ultimately ends up happening is, as a business owner, you look at your ad spend and you go, man, I'm spending all this money, but I'm not getting the revenue back. And when you dig into the numbers, you actually look and see, okay, as per the image, maybe 200 leads have come in, but only 6 people have actually booked in for an appointment. Now, the first thing that business owners will do, and myself included, we're all the same here, is we usually look at it and go, man, we've got low quality leads or poor quality leads. The campaigns just aren't working. We need new creative. We need to change the different audiences. We need to change the offer, and maybe we even need to spend more budget to increase the number of booked appointments at the back end. And I can confidently tell you that that is almost, well, I won't say almost never, but it is often not the solution that you're looking for. And all you need to do is simply install a system that plugs 5 particular leaks, and you can very quickly receive a 2 to 3x improvement on your results without changing a thing in your actual ad campaign. So the first thing to recognize here is the reason why there's such a big drop off from once the lead comes in through is because we don't have that 24/7 availability of people reaching out and contacting people to book them in for an appointment or take that next step. And so the first thing that we often think of is like, we go, man, I've got a people problem, but it's actually not. It's a systems problem, because let's just face it, like, we're all human, and we're all only available a certain many hours a day. So it could be 8 to 10 hours here. We can only have and handle one conversation at a time. We do forget things. We get busy, right? We have our good and our bad days, and we often go home at a certain period of time. We clock off from the work environment. But the solution here is to actually fix this with a system, because if you throw people at a systems problem, all you end up doing is getting very frustrated, wasting a lot of time and money, and also burning through potentially really good people. So what you need to have in business now, and this is becoming a non-negotiable, is a very simple but effective AI system that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. It can handle unlimited conversations at once, so simultaneously. There's a small caveat on that as well. This unlimited one is for text conversations. For voice, technically we're limited to up to 50 conversations at any one time. We can go higher than that, but it does require a little bit extra effort and configuration. So far, for all of our clients, 50 at a time is more than enough. Now, also with the AI system, it won't forget the follow-up. It's very, very consistent with its. It doesn't have the ups and downs of good days and bad days. And also, what's really good for business owners is it never stops working. So if you think about the salary of your employees and your staff members, and then you break it down by, obviously, they're only working 8 hours a day, typically 5 days a week, maybe 48 weeks a year. This AI system is actually working for you 24 hours a day, 365 days per year. And this is not a knock on people. We're not here to replace or hate on people, because you need people. But you can enhance what they do by using these AI systems. And so what I want to do is I want to take a few minutes here just to walk through what the actual leaks are in your campaigns and how we can plug them with AI. So the very first one here is the slow response. So we've really come to believe that being available, or I guess the quality of your business, is dependent on how available it is, right? So what we mean by this is you could have the best product, the best service, the best offer, the cheapest pricing, the best people, the best everything, right? And if you respond second or third, chances are you're not going to make the sale, and you're not going to have that customer. The stats show that 78% of customers will buy from the business that responds to them first. So that basically means that an inferior business, an inferior product, and worse people than you and your company will win if they simply reply to the prospect first. Because look, let's face it, we don't wait, right? So if you think about it, you go to Google, you go to Facebook, you go wherever you're looking for a solution, and you reach out to business number 1. You're not waiting for them to get back to you. You then reach out to business 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what the stats actually show is that you are 21 times more likely to qualify a lead when you respond within 5 minutes versus even 30 minutes as well. And let's take a look at some numbers here as well. So this is actual numbers from real clients. Now, this is a relatively new feature that's got unlocked in the system that we use for our CRM. And it allows us to track the average response time as you're looking at over here. Let me just see if I can get this working. Yeah, there we go. Look at that arrow. That's nice and professional now. So with this, we actually can track the average response time. Now, this is their human team from the 1st of January up until time of recording. And so you can see here across multiple team members, there's actually more team members below this as well. But it takes them on average 15 hours to respond to a new message and a new lead. Now, I actually still think that's a very good response time, especially when you look at this as across 9,000 messages, over 9,000 messages, right? So they're responding within 24 hours consistently on average. That's very, very good as a human benchmark for a business. But let's face it, it is not this vaunted 5-minute or even 30-minute time frame here. It's 15 hours. Let's compare this to, and by the way, on this one here, by the way, we are not including the AI responses in this SLA, right? So this is just purely based off the human responses because we do actually have AI responding. So all these people will be getting AI messages and conversations. Now this here is for another client. Now again, this is newer and more fresh. So there's only 48 messages so far, but the average response time is down to 21 seconds. Now this is 21 seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. And what we find across all of our clients, the average response time sits probably more around the 30 to 40 seconds, but it's typically within 1 minute, unless the client wants an artificial delay, which does happen. So let's compare that. So this business here, average response time, 15 hours from the human team, which is still very, very good, across, especially when you consider this over the volume of messaging, versus under 1 minute for a response. So with the speed to response, you are far more likely to convert that person into a qualified lead and book them in for the sale as well. Okay, now let's look at the next leak here, which is the no follow-up. So this is again stats from the Brevet Group and Marketing Donuts. They found that 80% of sales teams or sales need 5+ touches to convert to the sale. So that means that you need to reach out to them and engage with them at least 5 times to get the sale across the line. But they found that 48% of salespeople make 0 follow-ups. We're talking about not even a single follow-up. Now, the AI system, which I'll show you in a moment as well, is relentless with its follow-up. So it doesn't do it in an annoying way, but it'll keep on going until we reach a few different outcomes. The first outcome is they qualify and book in. That's fantastic. That's obviously the goal we're looking for. Or if someone says, look, I'm not interested, the AI will stop following up with them as well. Or if they say, look, stop contacting us, also it'll stop following up. But unless they meet those criteria, actually one more thing as well, if they're not qualified, it'll then nurture them into the push more content out to them as well. So until those criteria are met, the AI is going to consistently follow up with people in a way that's not annoying to make sure we get at least those 5+ touch points across the board. And especially when you look at this one here with 48% of people or salespeople not even following up. And this is not even people's fault. We're always chasing the new leads that come through. And it's very easy for us to forget, all of us included, to forget to follow up with some of those older leads as well. And the third leak we're going to talk about here is the no-show recovery. Now, this is actually really, really painful, and it's a big bugbear for a lot of businesses. So think about this. You've spent the money and the time on your ad campaigns. You've gotten them to opt in. Then they've qualified, and they've even gone ahead and booked in their appointments. So, but you're there, you or your team members there, sitting there in Zoom or in the office or wherever the appointment is, waiting for the appointment to happen, and they don't show up. You might get a message that says, hey, sorry, I missed it, can we reschedule? You may not, but regardless, the sale is not being made, right? And this is also really painful if you think about the fact that you could have been talking to someone else in that time slot you've blocked off, or your team is blocked off in the calendar. And typically, now this does vary across different industries, but typically, no-show rates are going to vary somewhere between 10 to 30%. And so again, just depending on your product or your service, that could be anywhere from 26,000 to even 83,000 per year in revenue. Now, let's actually look at the numbers here, because it isn't just those numbers here. Let's get very, very specific. So we've built this no-show cost calculator here. And so let's just say the offer value is going to be, say, $2,000 for your business. It could be a lot higher, could be a lot less. And let's just say on average, each month we're generating 200 leads for the business, and we have a show-up rate of 70%. Let's just leave it at 70% for now. So this shows that each month you're getting 60 no-shows per month and 720 of them missed per year. Now, if you were to convert every single one of those into a sale, that's an additional $120,000 per month, or $1.4 million per year. Now, obviously, you're not going to convert each and every one of them, but even as you can see here, every 1% improvement for your your show-up rates could save you $48,000 per year. So if we come down to this recovery potential, so of these people that don't show up, so out of 720 people per year, if we can just convert, let's just bump this down. If we can convert just 5% of those people by reducing the no-show follow-up or the no-shows, you can recover $72,000 per year on a $2,000 offer for your business. Now again, if we bump it down, let's just go here, even 2% is a $28,000. But what if we can actually improve and recover 10% of the no-shows? That's $144,000 for the year, and obviously you can see the numbers slide up as it goes. Right? So these are very, very real numbers that are very meaningful for businesses if you can actually go through and reduce that no-show recovery, which again, this AI system will do for you. Now, this is probably the biggest leak, and this is what I alluded to earlier. Most businesses are probably wasting up to 40% of their ad budget, or maybe even more, because of this simple fact here. Your ads are running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but your team is only working from 9 to 5. So this means that every lead that arrives outside of business hours that sits there, maybe not until Monday morning, but at least until the next day, or it might not ever get a reply. And this is very, very visible. So a business we were talking to recently, we're still talking to them right now, hopefully going to get them across the line. They were saying they're spending about $40K per month right now on ad spend, and they calculated about 42%, I think it was, of their leads come in after hours. We're talking like 11 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning, and even over the weekends. And so if a lead comes in at 9 p.m. on Thursday night, there's no one there to respond. Same with Saturday at 1 p.m., there's no one there to respond, but the AI, as you can see, will respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week within 60 seconds. Now, you might be thinking, I've got an autoresponder, like an email that goes out or an SMS that goes out. That's fine. That's also now the expectation. People no longer want just an acknowledgement of their opt-in. They want answers. They want solutions. They want those things dealt with. They want to be able to have those conversations and find out more about the business then and there. That's what the AI actually allows you to do. And so if we look at this as well, so with the ad spend waste calculator, so again, if we just say you're spending $50,000 per month on ads, and let's just say you're generating, let's just say we're doing 1,000 leads. So $50 per lead, that's probably pretty expensive, but let's just say for argument's sake, 1,000. And let's just say here we have 30% of your leads arriving outside of business hours. Now, if you respond, right, the next morning, based on industry averages, you're going to be losing around about $100,000 per year in ad budget per year, because this means that you're actually wasting 60% of those leads that come in after hours. Now, if you're doing it 4 hours later, it's $11,000 per month. And then, sorry, not per month. I think in total there. Oh no, that is per month. That is per month. And then 12 hours, and then if you never respond, obviously you're wasting all of that ad budget there too. So this really adds up. Now, if your offer, let's just go back to the $2,000 mark down here as well. If you come down here, and if we can recover, and we move this slider all the way down, let's just say 5% of those people that come in after hours. So what this means is that because the AI is there responding to people, qualifying them and booking in for an appointment or whatever you need them to do, we just simply recover 5% of the people that come in outside of hours at a $2,000 offer rate. You're going to be recovering approximately $200,000 per year in annual revenue, which is absolutely huge. And this is real numbers that real clients are experiencing right now that could be there for you and your business as well, especially if you're running ad campaigns right now. The fifth and final leak here is for leads to say, call me later, right? So what happens here is you finally, you actually get to, call the business, the clients, you talk to them and say, hey, look, it's Chris from Earlibird. I just saw your inquiry come through. They answer, and then they say, look, sorry, I'm driving right now, or I'm with the kids. Can you call me back Thursday, or can you call me back later on? So right now, you or your team's probably going to add a task in the CRM, maybe a sticky note they leave on the desk, and they either get too busy or forget to call back on Thursday, or they call back and the person doesn't answer, and then that window is gone. Most salespeople, most people won't continue following that up as well. However, with the AI system that we build and put in place for you, if they say, look, call me back on Thursday, the AI is going to schedule the call back in the calendar for it to call back. It'll then call back at the designated time on Thursday, and obviously best case scenario, book them in. But even if they don't answer, the AI is going to continue following up until they answer. And again, like those outcomes that I mentioned earlier, they either say not interested, they qualify and they book, or they're not qualified. We're going to follow up with them until that happens, which is absolutely amazing for businesses. And again, this is all happening without any effort. So as mentioned earlier, these leaks compound, right? So let's just say right now you get 6 booked appointments or 6 sales from 100 leads that come through. If you just fix a few of these leads, it's very easy and very reasonable to expect this number to go from 6 to 12 to 18 very quickly, right? Simply by responding faster. Responding outside of hours, being relentless with your follow-up, right? And also over here by reducing your no-show rate as well. These changes, these fixes, now this is not changing anything in your marketing or anything in your campaigns or your offers, right? It's not very, very difficult to do. So by simply making this simple change in the back end, you can quickly maybe 2 to 3x your results without changing anything in your campaigns. That's no new creative, no more recording new videos, no more firing or hiring a new agency, and no need to increase or reduce your ad spend as well. And there are a lot of other benefits beyond this as well. So you get lower cost per acquisition, less pressure to hire people, because another issue that can happen for a lot of businesses that we've seen is that you get a very successful ad campaign, and then you get a lot of leads coming through, which means you've got to hire more people to cope with that demand. But you may know that this is seasonal, or you may know that this may or may not be consistent. So when you hire someone, that's a very big commitment to make, because they're now on your payroll, and it puts a lot more pressure on you as a business owner to be consistent with your lead volume on the front end. So having this system in place behind the scenes that's really maximizing the opportunities you're already making reduces that pressure on you to hire new team members to cope and handle with that volume as well. It's also very consistent, so every lead is scored and also handled in the same way, so you don't get variance between team members. You get better data capture, so you'll see every conversation is tagged, logged, also notes, nice and clean in the system. Your team is freed up for closing. So the AI, I don't recommend you use it to close deals. AI is not great at that right now, right? And so it needs a human connection. People need a human connection usually to transact for high ticket items anyway. But what the AI is really good at is being relentless with its follow-up, the scale, and the automation. So you want to make sure you use AI for what it's good at to free up your human team to do what they're very good at as well. And obviously potentially lower ad budget or lower ad costs as well, because if you are getting better signals from your ads, then potentially the campaigns can actually reward you for it. So let's just take a look at what this actually looks like in reality. So this is one of our clients. You can see this is for this year. So it's about 15th of April in recording. So it's about 4 months worth of data for one of our clients. Does this actually work? So this is the voice, right? This is not text, this is voice. These guys have had approximately 400 calls from the AI. They've had 51 bookings made. Now I have to blur off what that is, but 51 bookings made from those calls. These are all inbound calls too, by the way. Now, there's also some other goals. So not everyone books in straight away, but we want to make sure we're qualifying them and handling support. So 135 people of those ones there had their goal achieved, and there were about another 143 that had progress made. What this means is that the AI handled the support or the questions and the conversation, but it needed some extra help from the human to actually finalize whatever needs to be finalized there. It could be a billing inquiry, because this is for leads but also customers, and so it passes it over to the team as well. And as you can see here, out of those 406, 78 people immediately hung up. They didn't want to talk to the AI. That's perfectly fine and no problem. And you can see here that on average each call was about 3 minutes. The average call cost is about 74 cents, which is pretty amazing. And the total cost for this, just in terms of the runtime or the usage fees, is just under $300 to handle those calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And again, imagine paying a staff member to do that for you as well. Now, in addition to this, we do also have all the data saved and logged in the system here as well. This is showing, this is the same client across 850 odd phone calls. And I've had to blur out some sensitive information, and there are some more columns that go across to the right-hand side, but this is probably the hidden gold that most business owners absolutely love about this AI system, is we get very clean, very accurate data that, guess what, you can feed into the AI to give you insights about what's working, what's not working, improve your scripting and all those elements there as well. A few little things I'll just call out just on this. CSAT score is a customer satisfaction score out of 1, so the higher that is, so up to 1 is the highest. 0 would be the lowest, so we get a very, very good CSAT score across the board. And if we come back up here, the average across them all is about 0.74. We don't have the average CSAT score on there. As you can see, you can do your own numbers here with the average CSAT. It's pretty high. I think it's about 0.86 or thereabouts, which is very, very good. We also capture the topic of the conversation, the sentiment, and also the next steps that you're seeing off screen. And then also, this is a different client, just showing you just some conversation and the notes. So this is from a text-based AI. Basically what happens in here, in the system, you see every single message, you get the full transcription, you get the full recording, you get everything in there as well. But you get nice and clean and consistent notes on the contact record after every single conversation. Now, if you have a team that does this for you, or maybe you do it yourself, you know that notes are not always consistent. People forget, they get busy, they don't like to do it. But AI consistently captures notes and saves it on the contact record, which comes very, very valuable and is very, very valuable later on as time goes on. So what I'd like you to do, if you are watching this and if you've made it to this part of the video, you can do a very, very quick self-audit as well. Just ask yourself very, very quickly off the top of your head, is every lead being replied to within 5 minutes, including after hours and on weekends? If yes, you're good, no need to give yourself a point. If no, give yourself a point. Now, the other one here is, does every quiet lead get at least 5 structured follow-ups before we mark off as cold? If yes, don't give yourself a point. If no, give yourself a point. When someone no-shows, do you have an automatic recovery sequence fire off within 15 minutes? If no, give yourself a point. And then are after hours and weekend leads handled with the same speed as business hour leads? If no, give yourself a point. And obviously if a lead says call me later, does that lead or that callback happen reliably and consistently, exactly as promised? If yes, no point, and if no, give yourself a point. So you can see here this quick little self-audit. You can understand, look, if you're in 0 to 1, you're in good shape, keep on doing what you're doing and keep on pumping out the ad spend. If you're a 2, an AI system is probably worthwhile looking at. You could actually be recovering a lot of revenue and recovering a lot of your ad spend from an AI system. But if you're in 3 to 5, you've got some serious leakage happening across your campaigns, and this is where AI is an absolute no-brainer and absolutely pays for itself as well. So let me just walk you through exactly what happens with the AI. So the system we build, it's designed to respond for incoming phone calls, live chat widgets on your website, SMS, Facebook or Instagram DMs, contact forms on your website, email, WhatsApp, and then obviously the ad campaigns too, so Facebook or Google ads, and even TikTok ads now as well. So these people come in, the lead will come in, and the AI will instantly respond. Now, if there's no reply, the AI is going to continue following up with them for a period of time. Now, we have a standard follow-up of about 7 to 10 days, and then it moves them into nurture. You can extend that period of time if you'd like to. Once they reply, we then move into discovery. And so this is where we're answering questions that the prospect has about your products or services, and we're finding out information about your prospect as well. What are they looking for? It's not qualification yet, but it's like, what are you looking for? How can we help? What problems do you have? Now, if the AI determines this is not a sales inquiry, because we do get a lot of support requests and things coming through, what we do is we gather information about the support request and we send it over to you as a business so you can follow it up, and we let them know, the person know that the AI, that someone's going to follow up with them shortly. We do have customer service modules we can add on, but most businesses come to us for sales first because that's revenue, so we can obviously add that on afterwards. So if we determine, or the AI determines that it is a sales inquiry, we then move into qualification. Is this lead a good fit? Because not every person that inquires should get onto your calendar or your team's calendar. You don't want to waste anyone's time here. So we go through and qualify the prospect. If they're not qualified, we then offer them some content as well if the business wants to, and we obviously just let them know they're not quite qualified. If they are qualified, we move into AI booking. Now, if they don't book for whatever reason, we have the AI follow up, and it does continue to follow up until, again, there's that sequence, but most often than not, people do book in. Or they say, look, actually not interested anymore. Now, once the booking is made, the AI will then go ahead and do the appointment confirmations and reminders to help reduce your no-shows. Now, it just basically, if they need to reschedule, the AI will handle the rescheduling for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is great. So again, if someone messages in saying, hey, look, I'm running a little bit late, can we do it tomorrow? And you're already on another call, you can't respond to that person straight away. No worries, the AI's got your back and it's going to handle it for you. And obviously, if they need to cancel, the AI will handle that for you. And let's just say you go to the appointment as well and they do no-show. All you do is click a button or 2 clicks, you open up the calendar and you say no-show, and that's going to trigger the AI to reach out and follow up to recover that person to try to get them to rebook in as well. And then after the sale, we can of course have the AI go out and get the reviews and also encourage upsells and repurchasing as well. And then this one here, this is more for reactivating your database, recovering revenue, and that's a topic for another video as well. So this is the system and the simple AI fix that can help recover up to 40% or more of your wasted ad spend. If you are interested in getting this installed in your business, just click the link somewhere around this video and book in a call. We'd love to help you out with it as well. Otherwise, please stay tuned. We're going to be creating a lot more new content out there as well, showing and breaking down exactly how the system works, how to improve sales, and also how to use AI more effectively in your business, including things like creating these images. Just so you know, all these images you're seeing on screen, aside from the screenshots, were created using AI in a very, very nice and simple manner. And in my view, they look fantastic. And we're going to be showing you exactly how we're doing that a lot more as time goes on as well. So if you are looking for anything in particular when it comes to AI for your business, please leave a comment or feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, go ahead and book a call using the link somewhere around this video if you want to install the system in your business. It works across voice and text. It's very powerful and also getting a lot more simpler as time goes on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.